Welcome to Eye on the Tigers News. I'm Alexis Richer.
And I'm Justice Dan. Thank you for joining us for the news we've been following for you.
A second attacker is suspected of taking part in the bombing this week of a Brussels subway train and may be at large, according to Belgian and French media reports, amid signs that the same Islamic State network was behind the attacks in Brussels and in bloodshed in Paris last year. The chief suspect in the Paris attacks, Salah Abdeslam, was summoned to court in Brussels on Thursday morning after his arrest last week in the Belgian capital. The Islamic State group claimed responsibility for the attacks in both Brussels and Paris, which have laid bare European security failings and prompted calls for better intelligence cooperation and a tougher response to Islamic State extremists.
Several possible compromises are being discussed as lawmakers and Governor Andrew Cuomo negotiate a deal on the governor's proposal to enact a $15 minimum wage. Potential changes to Cuomo's proposal include a slower phase-in of the increase. Cuomo wants to gradually raise the wage from $9 to $15 over 3 years in New York City and over 6 years in the rest of the state. Other ideas including exempting farmers from the wage or temporarily halting scheduled increases if an economic downturn occurs. The $15 wage is one of Cuomo's top priorities for the year. He wants lawmakers to include it in the state budget deal expected to be worked out by April 1st.
A task force appointed by Michigan's governor said on Wednesday state officials showed stubbornness, lack of preparation, delay, and inaction in failing to prevent a health crisis in the city of Flint caused by lead contamination in the drinking water. There were failures on all levels of government, including the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, a report from the task force said. However, the report highlighted failures of state agencies, especially the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality, and said the state was fundamentally accountable for what happened. Michigan Governor Rick Snyder has been criticized for the state's poor handling of a crisis that garnered national headlines.
Federal health regulators will add their strongest warning labels to the most widely prescribed painkillers, part of a multi-pronged government campaign to stem an epidemic of abuse and death tied to drugs like Vicodin and Percocet. The Food and Drug Administration announced Tuesday plans to add a boxed warning to the most serious type to all immediate released opioid painkillers, including some 175 branded and generic drugs.
A proposed Alabama constitutional amendment would legally define a fetus as a person from the moment of fertilization, effectively banning abortion in the state. The House Health Committee on Wednesday debated but did not vote on the amendment. The bill, sponsored by Representative Ed Henry, is similar to ballot measures voted down in Mississippi, Colorado, and North Dakota in recent years. The Oklahoma Supreme Court in 2012 ruled a similar amendment unconstitutional.
A powerful spring snowstorm that closed Denver's airports and stranded numerous passengers barreled east Thursday, threatening the Plain States and the Midwest with heavy snow and strong winds. Denver International Airport was closed around midday Wednesday because wind-whipped snow made it unsafe for planes to land or take off. The airport reopened about 7 hours later, but more than 1,300 of Wednesday's 1,500 scheduled flights were canceled.
No powerful storms heading our way, but we do have to deal with some unsettled weather for at least another couple of days. Here's Mr. Charbonneau with the forecast.
We continue to be stuck in a slow-moving system that's providing overcast skies and rain showers for most of us for our Thursday. We do remain somewhat mild with temperatures in the upper 50s, but the rain will continue throughout the overnight into our Friday. Now, that rain will taper off sometime late Friday afternoon as the system ever so slowly tracks to our east. The wind, however, will become an issue on Friday, but temperatures remain still in the 50s. With this system moving out, however, we should see a few peaks of sun on Saturday as high temperatures again are in the low 50s. But it looks like we are headed to a beautiful Easter Sunday. Temperatures in the mid 60s, that's a good bet, with sunny skies. Now we look longer range into next week and we see another system that enters Monday. That system will bring some wet weather to the area, but this time some cooler temperatures. We could even see some snow showers on Tuesday. That's our forecast. We hope you have a great Easter and Passover. Thanks.
The NCAA tournament resumes tonight with only 16 sweet teams left, including SU. Here's Abby with sports.
When Jim Boeheim leads Syracuse into the Sweet 16 on Friday night against Gonzaga, he'll be in uncharted territory as his 40th season winds down. Boeheim's Orange are playing on the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, and so are the Syracuse women, for the first time in program history. When March Madness began, 24 schools had both their men and women playing. Now just 2 remain, Syracuse and Notre Dame. Just getting both the men's and women's teams selected is a big deal in itself for a school. Both making it past the first weekend of tournament play is an even bigger bonus. Syracuse men's teams will take on Gonzaga on Friday night. They'll tip off at 9:40 on CBS. The Orange women will tip off Friday at 7 p.m. on ESPN against South Carolina. The National Football League owners voted to pass 2 rule changes Wednesday that will be seen as one-year experiments. The first rule is something that has been covered extensively and was expected to pass: automatic ejection of a player who receives 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties in a game. Coaches were opposed to the automatic ejection penalty, but owners seemed to like the idea. The second rule that passed will essentially eliminate the need for teams to return kickoffs. The league has moved the touchback line from the 20-yard line to the 25-yard line. Making kickoff returns safer is something the league has been focused on for a while, and this is perhaps the biggest change. Alex Rodriguez said he plans to retire from baseball after the 2017 season. The New York Yankees slugger revealed his intentions Wednesday during an interview with ESPN. His plans were confirmed by spokesman Ron Berkowitz. Rodriguez, who returned last season from a 1-year drug suspension, has 687 home runs, 75 shy of Barry Bonds' career record. His 10-year contract with the Yankees runs through 2017. That's sports. Enjoy the Sweet 16 and March Madness. I'm Abby Garrett.
The Spring Blood Drive is Thursday, March 31st in the high school gymnasium. If you would like to donate blood, please sign up during your lunch or see Mr. Deckman in room 103 to reserve a time slot.
In the spirit of the NCAA basketball tournament, the Physical Education Department will be holding a 3-on-3 basketball tournament on March 30th. See Mr. Chamberlain for details.
Students interested in the law should consider being a part of Oswego County Youth Court. Students hear real cases of youthful offenders and decide on real sentences for the offenders. Stop by Student Services to fill out an application.
And finally, sports physicals will be held in May. This physical will provide the student athlete to participate in fall, winter, and spring sports for the entire 2016-17 school year. See Mrs. Wallace for more information.
That's all for us today. We'll be back next Tuesday. Have a happy Easter and Passover, everyone.